sustainability program probably started about 6 years ago, and it started in a very small way because we were lucky enough to have a kitchen area gifted to us when our school was built, and it was the kitchen garden is always run with teachers who've since retired. What we found it to be really useful for was in welfare programs and to help engage students who are otherwise unhappy in classrooms. Okay, my name's Suzanne Capps. I'm the Assistant Principal at Hilltop Public School. It's been immensely effective. It's actually given purpose to a number of students who may feel that they're failing in classroom or are feeling targeted in different ways. So that was why we kind of put a bit more effort into the program. I myself actually taught the program for a couple of years as well, just to see how far we could stretch it. We're actually what we would call a Berry Street school, which is we work with trauma-informed practice, and we've found that kind of married in well with the activities that we do, particularly in the kitchen garden. Particularly even in the kitchen, we've had kids who may well be at risk, and what they've done is they've actually been able to learn how to cook an egg or how to make basic food, and it's sort of empowered them to have a little bit more control in their own environments, and that's been lovely to watch.
Michaela Fenn, Year 6 and Hilltop Public School. When we first started learning about sustainability, it was a bit more confusing than anything because it was a bit like, oh, we first had one bin and now you want me to put it in all these different bins. Especially with the worm farms, made it a bit confusing. But after we sort of got into the groove of putting it in the bins and sorting out the worm farms, it was a lot easier. All classes do work in the garden. Our class is a very different sort of thing we do. We do a lot more of the weeding and more of the work where it's a bit more hard because obviously the younger kids can't do it. But the worm farm and everything is mainly what everyone does. So we do everything in the school, everyone. Well, most parents are involved at this point in time, but a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do it because this is too hard. But it always ends up profiting, giving them something in return. Say they want the school that their kid goes to look pretty. They'd help plant the native plants and stuff so that their kid could enjoy it too.
I am Amelia Kamash.
I am Oliver Stratford. I am in Year 6 and I come from Hilltop Public School.
Me and Oliver are the sustainabilities at our school, and every day just before home time we will go around to all the classrooms and get the worm farm bin and also the return and earn, and then we will go and put it in our worm farm and we will put the return and earn in a bin so then one of our teachers can take it to the shops and get money for it.
So we grow stuff year round, so if it's winter we might grow cabbages. I don't know whether they're in winter, but we'll just assume. So sometimes we grow carrots, sometimes cabbage. We like to grow lettuce, onions, spring onions, occasionally have flowers. We almost always have a lime or lemon tree. We have a few fruit trees like an apple, I think a peach, maybe? So we've just also having all those fruits have just allowed us to get cooking up. So whenever it's the students go home, we mainly sell it then. We'll set up a stall just inside the school gates. Parents can come in and buy whatever they like. It's mainly gone pretty well. At the start, selling stuff was a bit difficult since it wasn't really... At that stage when we started, the garden wasn't as good as it is now, but we now sell quite a bit, mate. Normally, if it's a small amount, we get around $30 to $50 at most. And sometimes we even get $100 if we have a lot.
It's also, when you're out there, it's very calming because you're outside, you get to do stuff with plants, and then when you come back inside, you're relaxed and you also learn the food cycle, and then you can do whatever you've learned at school at home too, and then your family can learn about it. So that's helpful.
Okay, so it's allowed our students a chance to kind of become project managers and develop things in real time. So we did do a long lunch a couple of years ago, which the students were instrumental in organising. So we also became involved in the Creative Koalas program. The Creative Koalas program kind of brought action research into play and started to create these students who felt that they had a voice and they needed to be able to do something about how they felt. So that's been really empowering for kids.
The government is one of the people saying that we just will have a couple of years and we'll do it. They're saying that people who are protesting to make more action are wrong, and saying that it's not, like, it's rude of them to even think that the government isn't taking action.
So we have global warming. That's one of my large problems, being sustainable with even energy, but mainly garden and plants and produce. It would also mean for anyone who has their own garden, you save money, and it just encourages the world to be a sustainable place. Our school is sitting comfortably, even though it is very small and much smaller than most schools. It is still pumping along just fine. We save a lot of money. It's also extremely helpful in terms of teaching, gives the kids a way to learn about the real world and plants and how to cook.
Mine would be sustainable, because one day there might not be an Earth to come back to.
Yeah, there's certainly a stronger sense of responsibility. The students, our student leaders, are not joking when they talk about how committed the kids are to making sure that they get the bins correct. They are on each other as well, which is really good. They see it as something practical they can do. And it was for that reason we just thought that there was a really good opportunity to make learning authentic for the kids here, where they were able to link a lot of their learning through the channel of sustainability.